Hello everyone, this is Grandmaster VAR AKOBIAN and I'm here with my student Jonathan Maktik, about 1800 USCF player, but who is going to train very hard and hopefully have very good results. And he has very is very ambitious player, so he has some goals. So in these videos I think gonna help his game to improve tremendously, because he's gonna learn so many different things. And of course you guys, everybody who's watching on YouTube, you're gonna see a lot of these ideas when I pick apart these games and I explain every idea, every mistake that occurred. So the game we're gonna look at right now is the game between the top seed of the GM North tournament, GM Dragoon against FM YU. So let's take a look at this game. E4. Now finally we don't have the C4 opening, so we have E4, E5, knight F3, knight F6. So we have the Russian game, also known as the Petrov defense. So now D4, knight takes C4, get to this line, and bishop B7. I thought bishop D6 is the main line, but now white is going for this. A little bit more aggressive play by white. I think white obtained a little bit more advantage here. So C6 by Jennifer. And now bishop G5 here. By the first glance, if you're looking at the position here, it becomes clear that white is a little bit better here. And now I have a question for you, Jonathan. Why you think white is a little bit better in this opening? What's that? What do you see right now?
All the pieces are developed. All the minor pieces are doing something important, and
Absolutely.
all the queen's pieces for black are stuck.
Count, yeah, guys, that's how you do. You just count and calculate how many pieces white has developed. Bishop, 2 bishops, 2 knights. That 4 pieces developed versus 2, right? So you have 1 move advantage when you start with white, but it looks like somewhere around there you gain another move. So now you got 2 tempos ahead, and that's the answer, Jonathan, correctly. Development. Development is what makes the difference. And here we see now white is just slightly better here. So knight B7, rook E1, developing the rook. We know the rules. Rooks belong where?
On open files.
Open files, right? Rooks belong on open file, guys. And takes, and rook takes C5. This is a little bit surprising, because taking with the pawn, it seems so much more natural. Now hitting the knight goes on G4, take, and then we simply play the move H3, questioning the knight, Jonathan. And if he takes, guess what? C takes D5, and the pin is quite annoying here for him. So this is very unpleasant. F4, he has Queen C5 check, not quite F4 yet, but this is just very annoying. Yeah. So I'm surprised that the Dragoon took back with a rook here, but takes bishop C4, H6 now, questioning the bishop. Bishop goes back on H4. Now bishop D6. Idea of bishop D6 is just try to remove this rook from there, but rook E1. Another option was perhaps to take on F6, queen takes F6, knight E4, queen G6, takes queen D6, and let's say play a move like queen D3. And white is actually maybe just tiny bit better here, because he can move the rook A1 and control the E file and have more pressure. So, but he didn't want to do that, so he went here. G5, bishop G3, takes on G3, and now we reach this position. So black committed a move G5, which a little bit compromised the position of the king, so there's some weaknesses around it. Still roughly equal. Bishop F5, bishop B3, bishop G6, queen F3, and idea behind queen F3 is to try to connect the rooks quickly. If you take the pawn, it looks like, wait a minute, this is a juicy free pawn. But is it really free?
Doesn't feel free.
No, because you play rook AD1 and say, you know what? Where are you gonna go with the queen now? You don't have a good ways to go, because if you just go somewhere else, guess what? Thank you very much for the knight. So you are not completely losing here. You still have the G4 move, but I mean after rook D4 takes, pawn takes, it feels a little bit better for white. Sure. So tricky move here by Dragoon. King G7 is a good move, defending everything, and now D5, opening up the position. Opening up the position because the rooks are not developed. And now takes, knight D5, bishop D5, and now rook goes to C1. And now we have a position where white is just a little bit better, because he has a better bishop, better queen, better rooks. Okay, and when you put all this together, that gives you a little bit of an advantage. B5, I don't know if I like this move particularly. I think I kind of like this move, queen F6, to try to liquidate the queens. So if the exchanges occur, just take back. Rook c7, you go rook fd8. You try to get your rook on a second rank. So if you take, we know it, rooks belong on the second rank.
Every day.
Okay? So remember that, guys. So that didn't happen. And I think there was just a blunder that occurred. Sorry, b5 was played. And it looks a little bit weakening here. So I'm not happy with that. Rook c6, b4, rook a6. Now pressure on a7 pawn. Rook b5. Bishop is very nicely parked on b3, defending everything. You know, it's pretty clear white is better. Rook f5 now. And now just simply queen e3. Now a7 pawn is just gone. And now rook a5. Queen d4 check. And rook on a 7th rank. So everybody is coming in, and looks like black is on the verge of collapse here. So queen f5. And now simply play g4. I don't know if that's necessary. I would have just probably just pick up the pawn here, and still have all the pressure remaining. So queen c1, a5, and rook a7. Queen c1, queen f6, queen c5, and now simply instead of queen c5, the best move is queen d2, more resilient approach. White is still probably close to be winning, but this is just simply winning now. Picking up the pawn. Now 2-pawn advantage. And queen f5. Perhaps the best was to play queen g6 here. And there is this move f4. The point is, if you take, simply change queens. Queen h5. And that's the idea he makes, and that just simply wins the game easily. Next move you play king g4, king f4. So yeah, this would have been very nice. Just it's a little bit surprising that, you know, Grandmaster Dragun missed it. He ended up winning the game anyway, but it was a very long game. And black got, I think, one moment there was a little bit of chances. Yeah, got this all the extra pawns here. So once we take that, it's just gonna be over. So and white basically managed to convert this because of all the extra pawns and extra advantage. So one thing we learn about this game, it's very important to try to keep the position of the king, you know. So in this position, this h6 g5 idea, it's just once you weaken it for the rest of the game, it's going to be a lot of problems. So that's why make sure you don't weaken your position of the king. This is very important, okay? And develop your pieces, because the lead in development, that's what gave Grandmaster Dragun the advantage. I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and we'll be back with more videos for you. Thank you. It's about 7.